very good. That one's yours?
Yeah.
Not like we've been here all day, but alright, I think we're online. Validation music. We've got too many cameras, but I think I'm looking at that one. Is that right, Wes? Thank you for that.
Front and centre.
We're looking very cosy. We've got the lounges going now.
Just need a heater.
You've got jumpers on. I'm going to tell you. I have got a beanie on though.
Yeah.
So, you know, you dress well. Got a big shout out. We got Blue Bottles Cafe up north. Have you guys been up to Woolgoolga? Ever been to Woolgoolga?
Oh yeah.
Whoopi, they call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my parents live up that way. Been up there for about, I don't know, 5 years now.
Yeah.
Awesome cafe. Blue Bottles Cafe or
Yeah,
Blue
right.
Bottles Brasserie. If you're heading that way, if you guys are touring up there, you've got to go there. Best coffees, best breakfast, best lunches, best dinners ever.
Awesome.
Now this is not a sponsored post. I'm only doing it because my mother bought me this Blue Bottles beanie. I thought I'd give him a plug. So everyone go visit Blue Bottles next time.
Due course.
Always do it.
Yep.
Brilliant feed.
Okay.
That's why I put on the foot. Anyway.
Conditioning. It's conditioning.
Especially Italian.
Oh, I am Italian.
Yeah.
I am Italian.
You like cooking?
I love cooking, love eating.
Okay.
I don't want to drop a beer as well.
Alright, good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so thanks for tuning in. I don't know how many we got online, can't see it. Hope you're all listening. We got the new Spies in the studio. Got a ring from the snare there.
Howdy everybody.
Cam, Cliffy, Dino,
Yes.
front man,
Yes.
drummer, bass player extraordinaire.
Andrew can't be with us tonight.
No.
He's
What a shame.
Mr.
His
Express.
review
He's
will be.
driving on the expressway
Yeah.
somewhere.
He's actually driving as we speak.
Probably.
I don't know.
He usually is.
He
Every
might
time
be
I
at
try to
McDonald's
talk,
toilet.
he calls me from the car.
He calls me
So-
from McDonald's
His
toilet.
orifice.
Keep your phone on, he might call us.
You get him
Andrew?
live via telephone.
I
Mobile.
blocked him.
Andrew, if you're watching, you can call at any time. My phone's on silent. It'll just buzz. It'll just buzz.
All the random questions will come through.
Now, we wanted to get the boys from the Spies in. They're being looked after by Marcus at Big Apache
Yep.
Big
as
shout
a
out.
manager. Big thumbs up to Big Apache, big thumbs up to the Wicco.
Well, not as our manager. Shane Logan is our manager.
Yeah, Shane Loadsman is actually the manager
Looking
of
after
Spy
you.
versus Spy, and he lives in Tasmania.
Jesus Christ.
So we have a bit of a
Yeah.
long distance
relationship.
relationship.
Love
But
that.
Smoke signals
Marcus
go
is
astray.
basically our booking agent.
Yeah, right. He does a good job.
And
I
top
like.
mate.
Yeah.
He's a good
Most of
bloke.
all.
Like Dice is
So
a
he's
big,
the
big
cornerstone
mentor
of
mine.
music in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Marcus needs no introduction. He's been doing it for so long.
Absolutely.
He's actually, I was saying that to someone, his generosity has made a lot of music happen, I know.
Yeah.
He's supported a lot of people,
Yeah.
A lot
including
of
us.
local artists.
And we're
Yeah.
proud to have him as our
Booking
yeah,
agent. Yeah.
be with his team.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to give them a plug as well along the way. I'm going to start off the conversation with Cliff.
Yes. Good.
Spy versus Spy. Drummer extraordinaire. Mate, give me your background to the Spies, how they started.
Well, basically, it started in Sydney in 1980. I think we did our first gig. I met them in 1979. I was living in a squat where back street in Glebe, the whole street was basically squatters. We'd been living there 6 months or something, and then Craig turned up and I was playing the drums, and that's how I met him that day in the yard. And he wanted to have a jam because he was jamming with friends of mine from Armidale, and they told him to come and check me out. But that's when I met him, and then I just said to them, he was living with Mike, because him and Mike had driven from Nelson Bay. I went to school there to Sydney to start a band and smashed the car on the way. So there's a whole story in that, but he basically they were on a mission to start a band, and so they had this whole rent thing. Mike had a day job and I had a job. I was going to art school. I chucked that in. It was a funny point, but he was living just a block or a few blocks away from where I was working, and I'd knock off and go there and rehearse. And then in the end, I just said, look, I can't do this anymore. You all got to move, because the house came up at the squat. And I went, well, why don't you move in? I got the big house, swapped the little one for the big one. And it was just like, we had our own basement. Out, we could play music at any time.
No rent.
And no rent.
Wow.
So that was actually, like I said to someone, the first big break for Spy vs Spy was no rent. We could, one hire car, one hotel room, all the things that all these other bands couldn't do, we could do it for $200, no problem. And support some band like Angels or In Excess or play to all these people. So that's how the band really sort of started up, and then the record deal, and we started making the records and doing the tours, and you know, it reached point 1990, where I just sort of basically came back to Sydney after all the tour and everything, and it was just like a repeat. I just went, no. I did my bon voyage on the Fairstar to Vanuatu, was my last Spy vs Spy gig, until Michael came, knocked on my door years later. He wanted to write an album. So I had these reggae bands I was playing with. And anyway, he had a place, Stanmore, and that's where I got together and I wrote all this music with him. And then he's got the trip to Brazil, so we go over there to record it. The last day, Craig turned up. Like, Craig and Michael always communicated behind my back like that. I find out as it happened. Right, well, next minute I'm on the plane to Brazil and Craig's telling me, we're Spy vs Spy again. No, we're not, we're Honey Island. And I get there, I've got two managers. I've got Ricardo, who's the booking agent for Spy vs Spy, and then I've got Robert Birch, who's the manager for Honey Island, the album. So that was all the last time I played with Craig and Mike together, I think. And then years later, he turned up, and Dean Grant, an old friend of the band, invited me to go to a birthday party, his 50th birthday party. He didn't tell me, but Spy vs Spy were actually playing at the party. So next minute I'm having a jam with Mike after whatever it was, 17 years or something.
Blown off the cobwebs.
Dino and I tag along.
And one thing led to another, and then the band I had with Dean and Andrew started supporting his Spy vs Spy. It was kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
But I'd started to get, you know, the friendship going with Mike again, and we had plans, but he just got sick so quick, and he left us real quick, because, you know. And that's when the band actually carried on. We got the tribute show together, and then from there, the show's just grown to the point now where we're writing an album.
Yeah.
And we're a band. Like, it only took a couple of months for me to know that, and trying to convince the old manager Shane. We went to Tasmania, and that was actually the beginning of our on-the-road experience.
Flockhouse
Flockhouse.
policy.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Is it clean?
No.
No,
Well,
definitely not.
well, Kenny from the Urban Gorillas, he's the singer, and Mick and Phil, the rhythm section, they did all the heavy lifting. They came on the ferry, and they brought all the gear, and we played at this pub, which was kind of like the manager's local area, and we all stayed at in the same room.
St Mary's.
And ever since we were the Flophouse crew, because we learnt that in the morning.
Condensation's
Condensation's a good thing.
Two bands.
It's cascading off the
Two
wall.
bands, do a gig and then go to
Apparently
sleep
still
in the
airing
same
out.
room.
The room's still airing out, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hotel's now condemned. No, it's not actually.
It's a great hotel.
But,
It's a
yeah,
great
they're
hotel.
good-
Get down to Tassie, go check it out.
Yeah. Well, they're good mates now, and they've become
Yeah.
like our touring buddies.
Yeah.
We've done a
Excellent.
lot of shows with them,
Excellent.
and they're good fun. And actually, Kenny was one of Michael's old mates, and that's how the whole thing sort of kicked off. But yeah, that's basically where we bring it up to today, where we're, I'd say, rehearsing and recording for an album.
The new Spies.
The new Spice, the new reasons.
I've first time I've met Cam.
There you go.
I've seen him play, seen the mug shots, and Dino I met through Voodoo Express. We got to go up to Vasey one year and
Yeah.
do the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you did a bit of work with them, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Few
they all
years.
sort of Andrew was a part of that, and then it
Yeah.
all died, and here you are, sort of an amalgamation of that as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we are.
I want to talk about COVID-19. This terrible period we're in where the music industry's been hit like a ton of bricks. And we were only talking earlier about this job seeker, job keeper,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. I want to know what you guys have been doing in lockdown. What's been happening with the Spies, whether it be informal, whether it be communication, obviously the new record,
Yeah.
recording. What's been happening?
You know, we've been writing. I've been writing music and lyrical content, and we couldn't get together. We couldn't rehearse. As soon as that was lifted, we started playing together.
Yeah.
And people said you must be struggling not doing the gigs. Yeah, we are, but it's a lot of it's just playing the music together. It's the music, you know. So yeah, we're always in cahoots, and
There's always,
we're all mates. That's the thing, you know. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
It's
All of
easy.
Newcastle mates, really. We all
are.
get on, and everyone knows each other and pat each other on the back.
We all support each other, and
Yeah.
you know, you know who's out in the crowd. You're playing a gig, and you know,
someone's face pops up.
someone's face pops up that
Yeah,
you know, you supported the week before. It's a great. We come from a great environment.
Yeah.
we do. I ran into Andrew on Friday last week at the Wicco. I said, "Come on, we've got this interview going on, and where are you, buddy? You know."
We'll call soon. We'll call soon.
He's driving
Yeah.
somewhere. Driving.
Hopefully, you can't see. He shouldn't have his phone on. All
No,
right.
he never does that.
He's not here anyway.
So lyrically, you're doing your thing.
Basically, when just before the lockdown happened, we had a tour of Brazil, and I'd done all these promos, a whole bunch of stuff, and I knew by the time I'd done it all, and the dates got changed, and I did it all again, and I did all these promos that I knew weren't dates that weren't going to happen, and then a third time, Dean come and helped me. We did another one for November, and it's like,
Which is
no,
good
it's
too.
not going to happen, and that all sort of kicked in with Andrew coming back from New Zealand, because he goes to New Zealand all the time with his business, and it was just so lucky that he came back when he did. It was like the last couple of days before they
shut us down.
Shut
Shut the
down.
window. Shut the
and
door.
he did his self-isolate and all of that, but yeah, we just couldn't see each other for like whatever it was period of time, and that's when I started making that cartoon. Well, that's not when I started. That's when I really got into
Yeah.
it.
So you've
I
been
started
creative.
drawing difficult things about
Yeah.
difficult subject,
Yeah.
And it started as a joke, and like I said to Cam, it ended as a joke. But I tried to get serious, but because it's a pretty serious time we're living in.
It's ridiculous.
And there's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety, which is actually a worry. People say, "Oh, COVID-19." Well, I go like the cartoon my sister put up on the internet today. It's like this wave of COVID. He said, "Forget about that. Behind that, it's got this giant one, recession. This bigger wave. Forget about that.
Something
Climate
else.
change, even bigger. Behind that, and then something else behind that. It's just like, yeah. Who knows what
Onward
the future?
flow.
The future is a blur, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's easy to get depressed.
So you've been coming up with your own musical ideas in the background as well. Like, do you communicate together? Like,
Yeah, big time.
you're lyrically inclined. You got the rhythm section, your rhythm, but I mean, what's your part?
A lot of a couple of the songs that we're actually working on now are bass riffs.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I picked up the bass when I was about 14, 15. Had a few lessons with another good muse over in Newcastle, Paul Nico. Shout out to Nico if you're watching,
Nico.
man. He taught me bass because I seen him playing one night at one of the Stockton hotels, the
Yeah.
Wash Tub. and he played a Spies song. I said, I want you to teach me that song. And so he taught me one of the songs, you know. But I've always put bass riffs and so forth together, bass riff together over a period of time. And some of them date back to when I was 14, you know, and to the point where I've just got an acoustic bass that sits at home. Drives my wife nuts because I'll be needing to get in the car to go somewhere, and she'll be like, "Where are you going?" I've got to go upstairs. I've got something going on in the head. And I'll play it, stick it on the phone, whatever else, and then they morph into whatever we're doing, you know. So individually, always doing those bits and pieces, and you know, you come up with some lyrical bits and pieces. But as the guys have said, there's nothing better than musically getting in the room collectively as individuals, and then
That's
creating something, you know.
That's the way the Spies formula works.
And that works well.
You guys are really good at this because I've got all these notes here, and your segues are awesome. Like, can you see that?
No.
That's good
no.
because you're doing an awesome job. I'm not saying anything, and it's all flowing. It's good.
Yeah. Well, that's
How we work.
That's what I'm just saying. It's organic.
Chemistry.
The whole thing has been organic from the start since Michael passed. Basically, he's still kind of with us.
Yeah.
Andrew plays his guitar, and his spirit is definitely alive when we play the music. But every other day, it's like he's still part of the band. He's part of us. So.
His mother Gabby's always sending
And it's all
lovely messages.
yeah.
And stuff,
It's
you know,
all family thing. We are a family.
She's behind it, and you know,
There's a
Craig. Cam's bought a bass off Craig, and
Yeah, Craig's in Newcastle, and he's still.
and
Just
it's
started
all
playing.
And he supports 100%, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So, you know, and we pay respect, you know, people always ask the question, you know, and, you know, we respect the beginnings of the Spies to where we are now. It's all part and parcel. Nothing's forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, it's all in here, and that's why we do it. It's not about being you great and whatever else. It's doing it from the heart and enjoying what you're doing. And personally, me, if I wasn't enjoying it and having fun with music, I wouldn't do it.
doing it. No.
Yeah, I've been in that road where you get into different. You're either doing too many things or nothing.
Yeah.
And it gets confusing and convoluted, and you just got to walk away from those projects.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
absolutely cool. So you mentioned influences from your original bass player, Nick. What other influences have you got, or collectively all of you? Who are your musical influences?
Well, my chops, I learnt my chops with Pete Gifford, Midnight Oil, Craig Bloxham, obviously. I'm self-taught. You know, I had a few lessons, you know, and people always critique, you know, you got to do this and you got to do that. No, fuck that. I do what I do, and I enjoy what I do, you know, and that's my expression coming out in me. And I can't change that, you know. So my major influences are those guys, but I love reggae. I love soul music, you know. Some pop songs, you know, not anything really modern today, but, you know, how I'm feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I can't put myself in a genre. I love rock and roll. I love pub rock, all that sort of stuff. But it's what comes out when you're having a jam or doing whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's the thing with Spies. It's always been Craig was a pop lover of pop music, and he really clever with writing the pop, you know, chorus and simple structures like that. Whereas Mike loved David Bowie, and he liked stuff to actually be discord or changed and all of that sort of operatic like dynamics, and then the simplicity. So, and then I've always loved reggae music. So somehow everyone had to be themselves, and that's kind of how we are. That's why it's kind of working.
What about you, Dan? Who are your influences, mate?
Spies my favourite band growing up.
It's kind of bizarre.
It's a little bit like that movie Rockstar, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg.
Your dreams can come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why...
I fell off stage once too.
You did. Stick your head. Oh, you come on. You should have worked that.
You know, Spies are, my wife and I, they were our band, and it's crazy. So when I was, you know, Cliff and Mike asked me to sing with Mike, I didn't really want to do it because I'm like, I've got to sing Craig Bloxham. He's one of my favourite singers, and I mean that. so there was this huge pressure, and I got home and like my wife said, "There's no choice. You have to do it."
Go, Tammy.
You
Shout
have
out to Tammy.
Cliff's the same. Cliff with those big blue eyes is saying, "You've got to do it. You've got to do it."
We
I had to-
needed you.
We needed you.
That's
Yeah.
what I told you.
So I agreed to do it, and luckily, and but you know, there's so many. Chrissy Amphlett, I love Chrissy Amphlett. I remember seeing her and just captivated. You know, Peter Garrett, all the Australian rock stuff. Matt Moffat. I loved all that stuff. You know, right up to Bowie, to Iggy Pop, Elvis Presley.
Of course.
Some of the the blues greats, Muddy Waters, and some of those guys are just massive. It's just, where do you go? I can't really pigeonhole anybody.
But that's good. You've
One
got
person.
that collective bit of information that you turned into who you are.
I like honesty and I like passion. That's what I like, and
I've seen it before.
I don't like pretense. Doesn't really do it unless it's tongue in cheek, like I love David Lee Roth, because he had a lot of.
David loves David Lee Roth.
But he had his tongue firmly planted in his cheek, and I like that. And Bon Scott's another one. Was the same. Bon always had that smirk. He's always taking the piss. So there's a fine line, I think, and they're the ones I like. Yeah.
I think the main thing I get out of all of that is a similar thing, is that it takes a long time. You've got all these influences, and I'm not the best player. I'm self-taught, and you've got that whole background of people are watching me, and I'm not good enough, or I don't fit in that category. It takes a long time to work out who you really are. Like I reckon I was about 36, 37, pushing 40 before I was comfortable being a performer in what I was doing. So it's good that you guys are going, and that chemistry's good. So just being relaxed in that environment.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. We've sort of touched on this one. I'm going to revisit it because I have written it down. Just going back to songwriting, and I always ask this question because I'm a songwriter. I love songwriting. I love the behind the scenes thing and writing songs and for people and whatnot. I want to know, we've already touched on it, but let's answer the question differently. How do you approach songwriting? You're bringing lyrics to the table.
Yeah.
How much gets changed? How much does someone come into the band and go, I've got this song, here it is, play it like that? What alternates between that to how it's finished, or is it just getting the rummaging?
Well,
how do you approach it?
It begins with the last. See, there's no rule book for us.
No rule.
Like I say, we're going to try a few new approaches, apart from the one that we've just been doing, which is based on Cam's riffs and Andrew's riffs, with me and Dean working out melodies that fit with the riffs. Whereas I have a lot of other songs from the past where the melody is already defined, and like I was saying to Cam, we're going to map a few of those out acoustically, so that we understand, we have a physical memory of the thing. Andrew's going to play around the melody that already is existing, so it'll be a different way of doing it, the other way around. But that's how we've been working, and the arrangement being the crucial element. You come up with an idea as a songwriter, singer-songwriter, okay? You can define verse, chorus, bridge, outro. That's how it goes. As a band that's truly not talking out of their ass when they say everyone wants to be themselves and has to be, it's a bit different. It actually has to come from everyone at the same time. So for one person to say no, they might be, there is a guideline that they might understand because of the tempo and the energy, the emotion of the message or whatever. That's your definite guideline, but everyone has to actually put in their bit, which one person can't define. It has to be.
And it's like a big marriage, isn't it? Have you had arguments and then kiss and make up, all that? So is it just like at work?
I spoke to Justin and Ricky about this once. Come on a bit.
G'day, Justin.
Go, Justin. About bands. I says, even with the voodoo, I don't even think we have ever had a crossword. I think, I don't know what it is. We give each other a fair bit of stick. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's just, I don't think we take it as
We had
serious.
fun, man.
We just have fun, and we're really lucky like that, I guess. We're blessed like that. It's music.
It's good.
Yeah, well,
It's obviously there's a big
we enjoy
connection.
it.
it's definitely something that Shane, the manager, had to get used to, because obviously Mike's last couple of teams didn't have the camaraderie or the
Well, there's
team
no ego with us, you know.
that
it's-
we have as a group, you know, and straight away the banter was a big shock to him. He was, what's going on? I've gone, mate, the
not a
banter
footy
goes
team.
on.
It wouldn't be normal without any banter.
Where's
yeah.
Mr. Pumpkinhead? Is
it
Mr.
was-
Pumpkinhead in here?
No.
Yeah, we give
No,
each other,
he's over there.
we'll give each other stick on stage, you know.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the way it should be.
I remember reading a review once, and it had the singer giving the guitarist encouragement all the time. It's so great to see. And I looked at Pavo and said, "Oh, they don't even know what you say to me, you know." Telling him how good he looks in the lighting and stuff, you know. Or I'm wetting my fingers, sticking in his ear during the middle of a solo, you know, and he's telling me to go away politely, you know.
Please go away.
Yeah, please go away, Billy. So, yeah, it's quite funny. Probably wouldn't change that for anything.
That's good.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, he's going to give you some stick when he gets back. I bet he does. He does. What else have I got written here? We've gone there. We've gone that part of it. You guys have led this really well. So I've got talking about the new Spies. How did it come about? Like, obviously through Mike. But when did you know it was all serious again with these guys?
Well, after we'd spent, I don't know, there was a certain devotion and this almost supernatural element at Billy's place. The first time we played 10 Spy songs because he knew the bass line, but Andrew had never played them, ever.
Can I just jump in there quick? I was having a beer with Andrew at the weekend the other day, my wife and I, and he's gone, "Oh, I'm still trying to work out those songs. Geez, he was a good guitarist."
Because Mike had a thing where he played 3, maybe 5 times on the one song. So there's all these different ways
Pick
of
and choose,
playing
pick
at
and
one
choose,
song.
You're doing it live.
Because you got different guitars playing that part and that part and that part. It layers the whole thing, you know. And there's many ways you can approach it, I suppose, as a guitarist.
So you did those 10 songs.
Yeah, we played those 10 songs straight through from start to finish, and I was just gobsmacked. Because we knew 3 in the Voodoos, right? But then suddenly, because Cam knew the other ones, oh, well, this one. And somehow, I was amazed right from the start. And every time we went to Billy's rehearsals, shout out to Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
You're all Billy.
He's
And
basically...
Daisy.
And
Oh,
Billy and Daisy Gold,
Daisy,
they're part of our family, and without them, we wouldn't be here, because that's where the last jam started with
Big
Michael.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
And sitting on Billy's couch talking to Michael about coming and staying at Billy's for the weekend to write a new song.
Oh, yeah.
But that didn't happen. But that energy is still there, and it grows every time we go there. And that's definitely something that's, you know, the whole family thing, like I was saying, is really, really important. But it's just organically happened.
Happened, yeah.
There's no, you know, I don't know. It just, I'm totally blown
And
out.
on
when I
behalf of Andrew too, like, he's blown us away, you know.
think, yeah,
I hope he's not listening to this. I'm not used to
He's a
giving
great player.
I'm not used to
Like,
giving him rap.
he's told me that.
But-
He's done
But
amazing.
he's blown us away. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's changed his style of play, you know,
Totally.
so much. He's had to change his style of play so much, and you know, being a rock blues guitarist, to do this was, and he's so not spiritual, isn't he? He's a very unspiritual person. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But he said, this guitar, it helps me. I don't know what it is, but playing Mike's guitar, it really helps me.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't play it, he's really uncomfortable with
It
the song.
breaks a string and he has
And he
to
can
get
play
some.
his Fender that he's had for 30 odd years, and he struggles with it. He picks up mics and he can't explain it. He said, I just can't explain that, you know.
And now he's getting the
That is
sound
cool.
with all the new amp
Yeah.
and new pedal. And
Yeah.
it's actually
Discovering
sounding.
new sounds
The
and
guitars
stuff. Yeah.
really pumping out like.
Yeah.
Because Mike used to get a whole bunch of sound with his delay and you know, the
He's
2 amps.
taken
thing.
it on board. He really has.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing the Voodoos play the Wicco one night, and he was loud, so I'm gonna swear, so fucking loud. He was, you know, and I'm going, oh, what's on that pedal? Jeez, what did you do then? Yeah, he had two green rhinos, two way huge green rhinos on
Yeah,
his
they're still there.
on his pedal board, and I'm going, and he's playing, what is it, a Tone King, Fender Tone King. He was absolutely rip it loud. And he go, oh, just a little bit of that and a little bit of that. I said, well, don't fucking change it. It sounds awesome. You know? And then you know, that sort of fell apart. I remember talking to Marcus, and you know, they're done. And next thing you know, here you are singing with the Spies. And I think it was probably not long after that you played Early Beach. You went to Early Beach.
Yeah.
And you did that outdoor interview gig thing, and I'm going, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, Andrew, he's killing it.
Yeah.
As you were all, but it's like, you know,
Oh,
I've known
man.
Andrew, Dino more than all of you through all that whole time. And it's like, holy shit, that's great, you know. So.
I got a call from Dino because, again, the Spies were the band for me, you know, and I remember getting a call from Dino, and he says, you want to just come and just fill in and do a rehearsal with Mike, you know. And even if that was the only thing that I ever did in life, I'd have been happy. You know? And even knowing Cliffy, right, the ambition was never, I'm going to have a jam or play in a band with these guys, you know. It just happened, and we did the thing. We did our rehearsal. It was great, you know. We tripped up a few things and whatever else, but it just all worked really well. And that sort of came, again, morphed into where it was going, where the direction was heading, you know. It wasn't like we were trying to elbow our way in and, oh, I want a piece of this.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Yeah.
And as I said before, you know, the Duno, you know, if that's all I ever got to do, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Because even in the video, like 3 or 4 years playing with Cliff, you know, and I'd still turn around and go, it's Cliffy Green.
Yeah, I mean, I know, yeah.
You know, and then when Cam and I were playing with Mike and Cliff, and me and Cam looking at each other like, like, do you believe this shit, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a big night, the Warners Bay.
The Warners Bay
with the radiators.
With the radiators,
So
yeah,
it
on
was
the
like,
rads.
And they're still kicking.
They're still kicking there.
there was
kicking
too
well
many
too.
people in this. Oh, it was
Exact
like
rads. Legends. Yeah, it was packed. Yeah, it was packed. Yeah, it was a great night. Yeah.
Great night, great
Yeah.
vibe, you know.
yeah, very very electric memory now because it was Mike's last gig.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of questions from you. Oh, mate, here, and I've lost him, but
Eddie.
There you go, Eddie. Shout out to you, man.
Eddie P, if you're on there.
Hopefully see you live soon, brother.
Eddie P has got the same question I'm about to ask you, so I'll answer it as a group thing. And I can only get 3 answers because Andrew's not here. And if anyone wants to spill out for Andrew what they think it might be, go your heart's content.
What's the longest solo?
Or if Andrew, if you actually happen to be listening and watching,
Send us a message,
send us a
mate.
text message, mate, and we'll relay it for you.
We love you, Andrew.
What are your
Miss you.
personal favourite songs to play live?
I love credit cards. All Over the World was probably my hooking point. One of a Kind was the first song that got me to the band because it was different. You know, I was pretty young. I'm the pup of the band, you know. But I remember going to a surf carnival. I used to be a clubby back in the day, and we did the road trip about 4 o'clock in the morning. And a mate of mine put Harry's Reasons in tape deck, and it was dark. We were travelling, and just that starting of All Over the World, first track, you know, track of the album, and I was just like blown away, you know. And playing it now, I just love it. I love where it goes and where it takes you, you know. I can't say which is the best, but that's the first song for me that comes to mind, you know. Credit Cards, the whole string of them. Each time I play them, there's something different. You know, that happens during that song. You know, good or bad, but it's generally always good somewhere. It's not like it's this is a boring bit or anything like that. There's something exciting about the song every time I play it.
Yeah.
There's one. Cliff.
Well, I have to say, I was thinking about this, and it basically, like you were saying, it comes down to an emotion or a feeling or a moment, what your favourite thing is, because it's all good in that sense, or it's all bad, you know. And favourites, well, it comes down to tempo for me. If your tempo's right, the song cooks, doesn't matter which one it is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to that word tempo. It's not just the speed, it's the whole energy is bubbling together the right way. Because some songs meant to be angry and some's meant to be, you know, happy, whatever the energy is. The tempo is the crucial element. Get that right, well, that's my favourite moment, when the song actually just smoothly links itself together. There's no struggle go on, no mistake. And even if there was, the energy would just ride straight past and the song would finish smooth.
Yeah, nice.
I do a lot of things with my students with songwriting at Newcastle TAFE, teaching them to write a song by theme.
Yeah,
There's your theme.
that's right.
Tempo.
Guideline.
I want to see a song named Tempo. Take
The
it whatever
tempo.
way you want.
What about tempo?
I've got one for you, right? I want to do it. That's yours.
Cool,
you,
man.
you guys can run with that one.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, okay.
Dino. So Eddie, tempo hasn't
Yeah.
been released yet, but that's the
Keep your eye for it.
I'm still trying to rhyme something with tempo. Yeah, one of a kind was the thing that hooked me with the Spies, hearing that on beatbox on a Saturday morning, riding me treadly out to riding me treadly out to Toronto record shop to buy the LP or the EP, meet us inside, and the album flapping on the handlebars coming home. I remember trying to hold it between my legs and pedal it. Couldn't wait to get home to play it cover to cover, and you know how we used to do it back in the day. Just play it over and over and over again and read the cover back to front, back to front,
That's
back
it.
to
All
front,
the
back to
credits, the
front.
whole bit.
Every
That
bit.
song, of course, and seeing the Signer, and you know, that was like, from then on, it was like, that's my band. It was a real ownership thing, you know. And then, yeah, I'd probably mingle and mix. I think maybe because I don't do racism very well. So I think mingle and mix is probably a song I like digging my teeth into.
Yeah, well, that's one that's real fun when the tempo's
And the
exact.
tempo's
Top it, yeah.
Tempo.
It's a really fun song to play.
Theme of the night's now tempo.
Tempo.
What about Andrew? You reckon Andrew's got a favourite?
What's the longest solo? Guitar solo?
Yeah,
Well,
it's solo.
Of course. He's a guitarist.
no, he's definitely hooked into Golden Mile.
He loves
That's
Test
the
of
one.
Time, Golden Mile. Yeah.
I've got some questions coming through
Send
here.
it through, Andy. We need to.
We need some more.
Steve Spies. G'day, Steve. He lives just down the
Spearsy,
road.
Spearsy, go right here, mate.
He lives just down the road from us. He's going to come in the studio and record, he told me, so I look forward to that, Steve.
Yeah, come here, Spearsy. You know where we are.
Yeah, he's only 2 minutes away. Steve, you can be here in 3 minutes.
Yeah, beer's run out.
Troy Stead says, G'day, Dino.
Hey, Troy. We go back a long ways.
Where's the brother?
Man.
Are you a Waybox head? Mark Davis.
That's his
Andrew's
brother.
Yeah. MIA. MIA.
We'll track him down at some point.
Crew of
Ben Connolly. Is Craig ever going to jam with you again, Tippy?
I don't know. Craig jams at his mate's place, and Craig makes bass guitar or guitars.
Yep.
Now that's he's become an artist of you know making the basses, and he's been jamming with his mate, but I can't see it as a forward project, but I can always see that eventually, yes, we will,
Have a jam.
because we live in the same town, you know, so eventually it probably will happen.
There you go.
as a party, you know, a fun thing.
Yeah.
I can gym in there.
Exactly.
Except one person
You know.
won't go there. Donna McKenzie, g'day Donna, thanks for tuning in.
Donna.
Yeah.
She says, any covers like Should I Stay or Should I Go? Is there a cover you might like to hit the punters at all? Hit the punters at?
I don't know if we've really
For fun. Is there
thought about
something you're digging up or brewing up, or is there a fun cover you like to do? Good question, Donna. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
thank
question.
you. We'll have to. Yeah. Haven't really thought
No.
about it.
She said, sorry for the autocorrect. I'm not too sure which word it is, but it's all good.
Incorrect.
Anything in the pipe works for a new fun spin on a covers tune? Something that
I
you
don't
do
know.
that.
Well, see, that's what a voodoo's used to be. We had played everyone else's songs. We had a couple of our own, but generally we got a whole thing of playing other people's songs just with heart and doing it our way.
Yeah.
You know, and if we ever did a cover, whatever it would be done that way.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do it any other way because we're not sort of copy. We can't really do that unless by freak.
But who knows?
It's got the same. They've got the same energy as us, but no, we've become a Spies band. And like I used to say, in the Voodoos, I used to play Spy versus Spy as Voodoos, and it was a cover version. Because all the others were.
Yeah. It's food for thought. I mean, you might say we'll just throw something fun in tonight or
Yeah.
next week or in a month's time for a run of shows. When they come back, we'll go back there in a minute, but I've got here future recordings, gigs, festivals, shows in general. So we know you were going to Brazil.
Oh, we were.
Well, maybe next year.
They're upside
Oh,
down
we
at the moment.
can't.
So
Say a prayer for Marcelo and
Yeah.
everyone, Ricardo,
yeah,
and all the families.
All the people.
and
Yeah.
international artists everywhere. They're going to be jumping out of their skins to come back.
Yeah.
So you guys are jumping out of your skins to get to Brazil. So if there's anyone over there doesn't know, soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Soon is all we
As
can
soon as we
say.
can,
we've
and
got
stay
the
safe.
18th of July at the Wicco, which is our next live performance. And there is talk, I don't know, but there is talk of it being recorded for the internet. So there might be a chance. That,
Some
we'll
type
know,
of streaming,
we'll
who
let
knows?
everyone know through the website, the Facebook, if it's confirmed.
Yeah, so we do have a show coming up at the Wicco, Wicco
right.
Park Hotel, 18th of July, Saturday week.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
How am I doing? Good.
You're doing really good.
Very good, man.
It is sold out. You can't get in the door.
Yeah.
It's pre-sold. You probably get a good ear bleed out and around. If you want to hang out, but don't get caught
You
loitering.
just park over at the park
At
next
the
door.
park,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
right,
heaps of
really.
room.
But we will confirm one way or another whether they're going to do an online stream.
Yeah.
I was of the belief that was happening. We'll let you know. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll let you know before this.
Yeah.
But that'll be the chance for the Brazilian people to
Yeah. To plug in.
see the new songs.
Absolutely.
That's it.
That's a good segue. New songs.
We're going to play a couple
Okay,
of songs.
recordings. What's going on? What's happening?
Well, slowly, like I said, like we discussed, the organic formula takes time. It's not something to, I've got a whole songbook. We could just say, oh, well, this is how it goes, but that's not worth doing it that way. And we've got, at the moment, like half a dozen new tunes. We've got one that we've been playing in the show already.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 or 5 others. We've got 2 that we might include in this show coming up. So there might be more than one new song in the show.
Yeah.
And
And they're good.
there's 4 tunes. They're all kind of different, but they share a similar, I don't know, certain definite statement that they're comfortable. They're not.
It's got
They're not,
Spies DNA.
they're not angry, but they're definitely saying something.
Okay.
And
The Spies music's, it's so relevant today. The lyrical content's held up so well after all these years, and
Truth.
it's quite a challenging to do it justice, and so we will do it, and we
You do it your way without any pressure.
We
When
do
you're
it
ready.
our way, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're you know we're in Billy's studio, you know, 3 times a fortnight pretty much, and sometimes he's pretty much got to push us out the door, and we might work on a song for that, you know, 4 hours, you know, just keep changing it up, changing it up. We might play a couple of old ones just to break it up a bit, then we'll come back to it. But we yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. It's so fun creating, you know.
It is.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be The New Reasons. That's the working title.
New reasons.
New Reasons.
Okay. You heard it here.
Yeah.
That is the working title of the new album, and it has been for about 12 months.
That's good.
And like Dean was just saying about the lyrics, the past, and the message and sentiment, and all the different facets of being totally stupid and silly in some crazy pop moment to being deadly serious in some intense rock moment. We got to include all those elements somehow. We'll do our best, but we'll just be us at the same time.
That's it at the end of the day. Yeah.
We've got to get that balance right. We can't just be out. We've got to accept the fact that it's a legacy, and that's something we hold very seriously. That's where we don't joke around. So we, you know, we'll have to. It's got to be a balance. It's a balancing act, you know. So yeah, it's a lot of editing, isn't it?
Yeah, because we had a live recording
Hell of a lot of editing.
set up, but that got cancelled because of the virus restrictions and all of that.
Yeah.
But we're working towards that idea.
I don't know if I should say anything, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's in my head. But I have heard some snippets of some live recording.
Yeah.
And my good old mate Louis Rolfe.
Oh, right,
yeah.
the ones we
Yeah.
did at the Wico
Yeah.
last time. Yeah.
So there's some good stuff on this.
Aussie. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Great guy, another great guy.
I'm not going to talk about gear. You all have your own gear. I'm a gear nerd. I'm a guitarist. I play with toys too much. But let's just give it an insight to maybe a favourite bass, a favourite kit. Don't know, favourite mic.
He's got his own mic.
Yeah, he has actually.
I have.
You've invested well.
Jeff Sykes.
Oh,
Jeff
Jeff
Sykesy.
Thumbs up the
Yeah,
Sykesy. My young bloke here in the control room is a massive fan. Is it works so much on Sykesy?
We've all got a crush on Sykes.
Yeah,
We've all got a
man.
crush on Sykes.
Where's
big
his thumbs up?
Tarzan, we love you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, just old 58, mate.
The old 58. Yeah. Industry standard, tried and true.
Yeah.
Drop it, swing it,
Yeah,
throw
I've had
it.
a few different ones over the years, but Sykesy said that's the go. And I went, alright, Sykesy, you say so.
Yeah,
So
the old
58
classic.
beat 'em up.
and that's it.
Cool.
And some cough lollies.
I've always liked a Ludwig drum kit, and that was like the original drum kit, Ludwig. And recently I've got a new drum. I don't know, it's not.
Betsy 1 and Betsy 2 are going strong.
Yeah, I've got a timbali, because I always play the timbali instead of a tom. My first tom's always a timbali. And I've got a brass, it's only a little one, it's a baby. And it's brass like my snare drum, so I'm getting used to that's my new sound.
It's cracky, it's
Yeah,
nice.
good. I'm going to go back to the cough lollies. I'm a self-taught singer. I've never been a good guitarist or a good singer, but I'm a self-taught singer. I've had lessons.
We have a lot
I've had lessons.
We've had a lot in common,
Cough
haven't
lollies don't do it for me.
we? Yeah.
Brandy.
Yeah, brandy or whiskey.
Brandy
or
works
whatever.
for me. Brandy,
there you
Brandy's my thing. And you know, you see Eddie Vedder walking around with his red wine and all that sort of stuff. Everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah.
Cough lollies, like, there's something about them, they don't work.
I do cough lollies, not just before usually, but yeah.
You're
half
talking
hour.
about cough lollies.
Yeah, the hard stuff.
Brandy works for me.
Strepsils.
Strepsils. There we go. Now we've been serious.
Chewy sounds.
Kim.
Hardcore stuff, mate.
Mate, Ampeg amps, you know, Pro 7 heads, big 15-inch speakers.
Bang, bang.
Love it.
Thumb.
You know, and my favourite bass currently is my Bill Nash, which is a Fender Precision copy. Bill Nash, get a hold of one. If you're a bass player, get a hold of one. It's the only thing you're going to get good bang for buck for. It's going to rival anything pre-CBS Fender.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the guys at ZZ Top play Nash guitars.
Yeah.
Billy Gibbons has got this awesome looking.
Yeah,
tele-
basically Bill Nash, mate. He takes all the best bits, puts them into a bass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really get strung up on what guitar's better. There's no such thing. You know,
You're a bass player.
mate, doesn't matter. No.
And Andrew's a Fender guy.
Yeah, but like I say, he's become the Telecaster.
He's got bits and pieces. He
Telecaster
likes.
sound.
He's got his Gibsons and that too. He likes his Gibsons.
And he's got two amps now,
Runs the
and
twins,
new
yeah.
pedals, and he's running a clean sound and an effects sound.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like what
So
Mike
Wes
used to
Wright.
do with these two Vox amps, and he'd play the stereo delay thing, a lot of delayed guitars,
Yeah.
and some of the tunes we wrote off the delay pedal. You ask me how we wrote the song? Well, Mike's
There you
delay
go.
pedal. Test of time.
Yeah.
If the tempo's not right, the delays don't work, the whole song just falls apart. It's all about that definite delay. That
Now,
counts the song in.
Another quick question for you, because I'm a delay junkie. I use way too much delay. I have to have tap tempo, unless you're playing with a drummer that plays with a click. Ever play with a click? You like, apart from studio recordings?
Well, I learned about click drums from Johnny Farris when we recorded in the Rhinoceros Studios. Johnny used to have all these click tracks online, and Chipper, the engineer, I'll play you one of Johnny's tracks. Okay. There's all these whistles, there's all this stuff going on, and I just want to go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can play me another one. And he had all these click tracks with different energy. It didn't just go tick tick like a metronome.
Just
And
take your time.
the click track, basically, the problem for drummers is if you can hear the click in your hands, you're out of time. Because when you're playing, you shouldn't be hearing it because you're right on the beat.
There you go.
And it cancels what you hear when you play.
Okay, good call.
As soon as you can hear it, you're out.
Yeah.
You're either ahead or behind. You're not on it. So I learned that the confidence thing from Johnny's click tracks that were really busy with whistles and stuff. Right, get on it. Don't hesitate. Know your tempo and just stay there.
Yeah. I going back to the delay thing, because I love using delay and tap tempos, but two drummers that come to mind for me is a drummer in a local hardcore band called Robbie Carster, and if you're watching Rob, he plays with a click track. I just always felt comfortable with him because you just know it was right, and he had good groove. But James Dennett did a lot of playing with Steve Edmonds. I don't know if you know James or not, young bloke from the Central Coast. He played on my last recording, and he plays with a click, right? But he doesn't have his ears in. He listens. He goes, all right, and that's it. He's in time. It's like so click and groove and good time. You can't beat it, especially for delays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a drummer that speeds up with delay or slows down, and it's like everything gets out of whack.
It's quite bizarre because
it's hard work.
there's a lot of skill in some of it, but there's so many bands that have backing tracks now, and drummers have to play in time to this thing in your ear, and you develop this thing where you go, get on the thing. You know, I've seen so many players, and it's very awkward.
Yeah.
But I remember trying to do it with a hip hop thing years ago, you know, and like they played the backtrack and I just had to jam along with it, you know. But that was a bit looser. But now it's definitely pre-recorded thing that you're part of, and it's actually louder than you. And you'll see the drummer do a big roll and you won't even hear it. So it's like it's a layer of sound now. With all of that backing track thing, and
I'm not a fan, but you know, it is a big thing worldwide. All the big bands.
Yeah,
I went to see a band called Incubus, different style of music, but I just didn't dig the show because it was just all tracks.
yeah, it's
As good as they were, I'm
busy.
my favourite one, but I just don't. I just can't give them the track. And Keith Urban's a good fan. I'm a massive Keith Urban fan. I've seen him play on stage with 10 different people and epic. But his last show he did it in Sydney a couple of years back. It was like a gig at a pub. There was only 5 of them on stage, and they pulled off the whole show, like the studio stuff.
Yeah,
It was epic, and that was, for me, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing click about it, and
no,
brilliant. It probably was, but it didn't seem that way.
no.
Yeah.
We got Spears is outside.
Is
I'm
he?
going to let him in a minute, but I've got a couple more questions because we've got people still asking questions.
Oh,
We got
Far away.
Sienna says,
Oh, Sienna.
hi little Dino.
Hello.
Love Sienna.
Yeah.
She's my
Oh,
best
little
mate.
Oh yeah.
She's my best mate. Yeah.
Yes.
She comes to rehearsal sometimes.
Forget
yeah,
about
really,
the working
really good
week.
friends.
Yeah.
Our
That's it, the
backing
working
singer.
week.
Yeah, she comes to rehearsal.
She's our backing singer.
She's 9, going on 42. She's unbelievable.
She's into it.
She's a champ.
She's
Yeah.
got it down pat at the age of 9.
And we'll see
Totally.
you Saturday night, Sienna. She's coming.
Awesome spy.
Andy Groot, what about Perth?
I'd love to get the Perth.
Yeah.
If you're still watching Andy, I think that's a
Definitely.
definite soon. A definite soon.
Well, yeah.
We
Well,
were talking all about that sort of
we
stuff.
can't go anywhere. It's all
Of course,
frustrating.
but let's just say when we can go,
Yeah,
Yeah, for
Perth
sure.
on the cards.
definitely.
yeah. That was a definite one.
Yeah, there you go,
Go to
Andy.
Melbourne, wasn't it? Melbourne, Perth,
Yeah,
Adelaide,
talk about Melbourne and
That's right, we're going back up to
Melbourne
QLD
and
soon.
Tasmania,
Tasmania again.
and then
Very
coming to
Tassie, yeah.
Perth
Oh,
on a
okay.
separate.
Been there once, fell in love with it.
I'd retire in Tassie.
Such a great
Take me
place.
Yeah,
away.
that's great.
Yeah.
I've gone back 1975.
Yeah.
Lee?
We-
Like
It's
that.
a rocking chair.
1975.
Yeah, it's like going back in time.
I
It's
was
beautiful. Well, yeah.
I was 3.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Tasmania existed back
I was
then.
6.
Mate,
Yeah.
brothers.
See it? 72.
We got more questions.
72 is a good finish.
We got
I was listening to
and Andy-
people
and Andy
when
says-
they spoke.
well, we'll probably answer this one, Andy. You know, we've got the new Spies. They are in a great place.
Yeah.
Andrew's not in a great place. He's in the Parliament capital of Australia. God love him, doing it hard. There was another question. Oh, look, I won't answer it. I'll answer it for you, Cliff. But you know, it says getting Craig back for a gig. Look, I guess if he's at one of your gigs, he might get up and do a tune or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
It's,
can't speak
it's
for
about
Craig.
the it's
It's
about the
really,
new
it's really
Spies.
hard to speak for Craig. Craig's
Absolutely.
doing his thing.
We've been,
Yeah.
That's
you
a
know,
question
and
for
we
Craig.
just need to respect that. you know?
Absolutely. That's a question
And
for
you
Craig.
know,
But
we-
look, I'm putting these out there because I'm being
Yeah,
polite
man.
to the people that are watching the show. So, and then we got Dan from Team Blue Bottles. Here we go. I was going to do it at the end of the show, but if you ever travelling north, okay, I think north's that way, and you're on the north coast, right?
So,
My wife goes, I've got to go to Maitland. Like, Maitland's over here, darling. You know, but north, all right, okay, so if you ever heading north, just out of cost, throw in a whoopee, grab a coffee and a feed from the guys at Blue Bottles. They make great beanies too, there's grey ones and I opted for the black one.
so I'll have to think about it when we go to QLD.
Yeah, no.
December.
And look, I'm going to make it my objective, Dan, that we're going to send the Spies to Whoopi
yeah.
and you're going to look after them for us because they're a great bunch of dudes.
Well, we always used to play at Coffs Harbour,
Yeah,
which is just up the road.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, Gabby too, we've got to do a... That's...
Yeah.
Gabby is, isn't it?
yeah, no, Grafton. That's
Grafton.
the other one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Mike's
that's
mum lives up there. So,
we
you know, the old
we
coast
wanna-
trip of driving up the coast,
We
that's what
want
we
to get
used to
her
do.
to a gig.
That's
She
nice.
So,
wants to come to a gig and see us again.
It's all a future prospect, but that we do have Queensland booked for Christmas for December.
Yep.
18th, 19th and 20th of
20th.
December.
Yeah.
It's actually
There you
confirmed that we're
Yes.
going to play in Queensland and we're
For the
doing a
homeless?
Rock for the Homeless
Rock
on
for the
Saturday
Homeless.
night.
On the Friday
Super
night.
On Friday
Jesus
night.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
And
Jesus.
so that's going to be our first big
Utopia.
trip up the coast again.
Yep, brilliant. So they're coming. Dan, they're coming. Blue Balls, look out. Bill Reid,
Billy.
How's Mr. Island, Cliff? Mr. Island. Well, you know, like we were saying before, about the lyrical thing and the past, I didn't realise how the lyrics actually really do come into now all the time, because I started breaking up bits and pieces of the song and writing them into the comic, and it became a thing that took a week to write. Every week I'd come up with another page,
Comic, yeah.
and it would come out of everyone, out of Billy's,
Yeah.
out of wherever conversations that were happened, ideas for the cartoon came from conversation with other people. It wasn't just me. And so it became a reflection on what was happening within the group. And Mr. Ireland is basically the spy that Michael talks of in the original songs. He's in chapter 1, and then in chapter 2 it becomes New Reasons, which is when we went to the island
So cool.
of Tasmania to meet our manager. And then that all confusion thing to come in with the urban guerrillas becoming our extended people in the cartoon that set everything up before we even get there.
That's excellent.
And then it became a whole scenario which actually reflects the change transition from Michael speaking on the track to Michael's spirit playing in his guitar in our band today, and that Mr. Ireland is alive
and well.
as a time traveller.
There you go. Brilliant, brilliant. Neil Whittaker says, hi lads.
Hey,
Yeah.
Neil, how are you, man?
G'day Neil, thanks for tuning in.
Our last gig was with Neil, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Matty Lawrence says, tell the boys g'day.
Matty,
Matty,
good
how are
morning,
you,
brother?
brother?
Comrade,
Ian Lloyd wants to know.
anyway, here to stay.
Ian Lloyd wants to know if there's any potential Sydney dates brewing.
Oh
Yeah, Toon Gabby.
Yeah, Tim Gabby.
Oh, when's that?
Toon Gabby, that's the 10th, no, the 9th of October.
Oh, there you go. I've forgotten about
There you
that
go.
one.
Friday night, so far.
Cam's the brains.
The Golden West suburbs.
Cam's the brains of Sydney. He's like a brain.
Yeah.
We just tap into him and get all the info. We don't need to know the dates. Just
Don't put me under
just ask
pressure.
Cam. He knows. He's always on. Always on.
Doesn't even need a notepad in the top pocket or a dig on the phone.
We have 2 brains in the band.
Two brains, yeah, we won't talk
We
about
won't
that.
talk
Brain.
about that.
Brain by initiation.
I think that might have pulled us up, lads. So,
Awesome.
It's been great. Thanks for having us for your pad.
mate, it's been great to have you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's been great to have a chat and talk all things Spies. I just want to have a big shout out to the rest of Australia. Victoria's doing it tough,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
and we'd hate to see all the other states go down that same road. So we're wishing everyone safe recovery in Victoria, and we're going to jump out of this and get back to the good times.
That's it. That's what
It's a
we want.
new world. It's a strange place. New beginnings, I guess. New reasons.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
reasons,
it.
man.
That's it.
We
There's a
have
lot
to
of-
adapt, and we will.
And we will. We'll get there. So I just want to thank young bloke Wes in the
Thanks,
control
Wes.
room
Thanks, Wes.
for being awesome. He probably do
Always.
sound for you in a fortnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Because he'll be
wonderful
doing sound for
Wico
us at the
Hotel.
Wico. So there's a segue for me. Wes has got the studio happening here. If anyone's looking to do some recording or songwriting, voiceovers, anything particular, drop us a line, send us a like, get in touch. Wes is your man to talk to. Thank you, Cam.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having
Thank you,
us.
Cliff. Thank you, Dino. Legend. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Wherever you are right now.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yes, mate.
Thanks, Andrew, for not being
Always
here.
with us, bro.
That's it, mate.
Always.
Always with us.
We might get his back because I actually mentioned to Andrew the other night. You don't have to, but if you want to do a little acoustic number, you could. He goes, "Oh, I told the boys, I'm not sure."
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen because he's not here. But if we get
Yeah.
back in, we might
Why not?
get the four of us in and strum up a tune
Why
or
not?
something new
Bit of fun, yeah.
in time. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming
Thanks, man.
Pleasure,
supporting Belladose Music, supporting the little studio, supporting the young bloke, more
mate.
importantly.
Yeah, man.
And July 18, Wickham Park Hotel, sold out.
The best hotel in the Hunter Valley.
Big thumbs up to Marcus at Big Apache.
Love you, Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Wicco,
Top job, man.
the premier live entertainment venue in Newcastle. If you
Wow.
can't be there while it's shut down, we've got some live streaming things happening. Come and watch it. What'd you say? I think he heard himself. We just had a groan from
He
the.
fell off
Wait
his
for
chair.
And before we go,
Wait.
just before we go, alright, I've got to.
It's busy.
Spearsy's probably
Probably
frozen.
frozen out there.
Oh, yeah.
Have to defrost him.
Steve.
He's out there shivering. Get the hot water.
Well,
Throw
thanks
the
for
hot
having us, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
come
come
and
to
see
the
us all,
studio.
man.
It's great. Great setup. And these are great guys.
Yeah, are you, mate?
Busy.
That's exactly where I am. Most
There's a
of the-
camera up there. You can't
There's a
see the front.
camera.
It's up there. It's just bombers. And he's got his Mark Hughes
Yeah.
Beanie on.
beanie on.
course.
Cancer Council legend. I got the exact same colour.
Yeah. I
Um,
can't find last year's one. This is the year before last.
yeah,
Only last year's one. I've got another one at home too.
I got the same.
I've got this year's yet.
I'll wear mine all the
Oh
time.
well.
And this is keeping it real because we did say Spies lives 3 minutes down the road, and you think he was here in 90 seconds, and he's been outside for 25 minutes in the cold.
Didn't want to interrupt.
Jump
Put a shirt on.
Thanks for Spies. Thanks for the new
Thanks,
Spies.
Thank you.
Give us a like. Jump on the Belladose Music. If you don't like the Spies, better jump onto their page.
Yeah, it's Spy vs Spy official on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
Um,
something that people don't understand. There's many Spies sites on the Facebook, but there's only one that reflects the current band. And like I said, all the previous lineups all had their own. Mike had 16 drummers to replace me. So there's many people that had a website or a Facebook saying Spies, but it's not us. So it's official.
Official.
Spy v Spy official.
That's
Jump
the
on
one.
it. Give it a like.
Is that Instagram-y thing too?
And we have
as well.
Instagram, yeah, Spy v Spy official.
Done. I haven't checked them on Instagram. I'll give it a big blue tick when I
Cool.
check it.
Thank you.
Awesome. We're out of here. See you guys
Thanks,
next time.
guys.
Thank you so much for
Thank
tuning
you.
in.
Take
Thanks
care,
for the
everyone.
questions. Dino, one more.
Support each other.
Kim, thank you,
It's all
brother.
about the love.
Thank you.
We're out of here. See you soon.
Positive.